Let's not beat around the bush. Today the state of diesel wine is about $200 million. But do not think that such a state went to Diesel without difficulty. Before his acting career began to gain momentum, he worked as a regular bouncer in a nightclub. A lot of water has flowed since then. In 2019 Diesel earned $54 million. However, all these amounts pale before the one that the actor can receive very soon. But before we talk about perspective, let's take a closer look at today's wine buying habits. A trailer is a trailer with an area of 102 square meters, more like a real house on wheels than a means of transportation. The trailer, of course, is full of the most modern gadgets. There was also a place for a living room, a private indoor lounge, for the wine itself. Such a toy is much more expensive than a real house, about $1,100,000. Let's start with the Hollywood Hills. Here, in the 2016 year, Vin put up for sale a house for $1 and $4 million. The house can be called modest, it has only 2 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. But don't worry, this is not his only home. He bought the house back in the 2000s, when its cost was much lower, only $264,000. All this is for Vin Diesel. Things are very different in Atlanta. This mansion with an area of more than 1,000 square meters can offer everything you can dream of. A dining room for 12 people, a garage for 3 cars, 9 bathrooms, an elevator, 4 terraces and a full gym. Rumor has it that Diesel has a house in Beverly Hills, purchased for $2,250,000.
You just have to believe in such things.
Movies. Few people know that Vin Diesel is actively engaged not only in acting, but also in other branches of filmmaking. Vin is involved not only in the frame, but also behind the scenes. It is known that back in 1995, he founded his own production company Van Rees Films. This company bought the 3X movie franchise. The purchase price was not disclosed. Diesel's company produces not only films, but also musicians and even video games. The media know that Diesel is constantly investing money in this company, and for good reason. It is constantly expanding, but the company has a franchise in its assets, which brings it most of the money. Surely you can guess what it's about. Yes, it is about the Afterburner. In fact, Vina and his company have had considerable weight in the development of the franchise since the release of the 3rd film. This is what Diesel's main trump card is, thanks to which he will soon be able to enter the list of billionaires of the world. The 7th and 8th parts of the franchise, for example, brought the company $1 billion by themselves, with most of the box office receipts coming from abroad. In general, all parts of the franchise have earned more than $5.5 billion at the box office. It is not difficult to guess who now receives the greatest profit from this enterprise. It is known that the franchise will be extended for 2 more films, and the filming of the 9th part has already been completed. According to experts in the field of film criticism, the franchise is unlikely to stop at 10 films and will release several more parts in the future. Vacation. Even the coolest heroes need to periodically take a break from racing, showdowns with bad guys and the management of large companies. Unlike many celebrities, Vin always travels along routes of his own authorship. It's not that hard if you have millions of dollars. However, it was noticed in Egypt, and on the usual tourist route near the pyramids. Also, Diesel and his family were often seen at many resorts of the Canary Islands. Diesel prefers private planes on many trips. Usually he does not fly alone, but with his family. Recently, the press actively discussed Diesel's broad gesture. He urgently hired a private plane in order to take his 5-year-old son found on the other side of the country. Of course, the price of renting an airplane depends on its size and model. On average, the cost of renting a private jet is $13,000 per hour, but for a Diesel this amount is a trifle. It is worth noting that Diesel often travels for charity. In the 2020 year, he devoted his New Year's holidays to visiting an orphanage in the Dominican Republic. Parties. Like any rich man, Diesel knows a lot not only about traveling, but also about parties. He often rents yachts for such parties. And if an actor attends mass events, then only the most elite ones. For example, Diesel was recently spotted at a concert by the famous DJ Steve Aoki. Moreover, the actor not only visited the hall, but also went up to the stage, where Aoki hugged and jokingly threw a cream cake at him. In the 2019 year, the author organized an incredible party on the 30th birthday of Nina Dobrev. Diesel also met his future wife Paloma Jimenez at a party with mutual friends. Cars. What would you spend your money on if an amount with 8 zeros appeared in your bank account? It is clear that the role of Toretto obliges Diesel to get a cool car or 20 cars at once. But unlike most movie stars, who prefer the newest, fancy sports cars, Vin loves the classics. What kind of cars are in the garage of Vin Diesel? Let's start with the Plymouth Barracuda 1974 year of manufacture. 1974 was the last year of production of this car, so Diesel became the proud owner of a rarity. He spent about $60,000 on this acquisition. The Plymouth is followed by perhaps the most famous car in US history. We are talking about a Dodge Charger Daytona 1969th year of release. Only 503 such wheelbarrows were produced, but if anyone deserves to own such a copy, then this is clearly the House of Toretto. The cost of this copy of the collection turned out to be much higher, about $200,000. Speaking of Toretto, did you know that Diesel himself owned his legendary car in reality for some time? As standard, the engine of this crumb boasted 8 cylinders, an engine with a volume of 5 and 7 liters and a power of 245 horsepower. However, there are rumors that the diesel engine had a capacity of 1,500 horsepower. You don't need to be a great mechanic to understand how much 1,500 is more than 245. The most modern and fastest car in the Diesel garage is the Lykan Hypersport, Lebanese hypercar of limited production, released in the 2014 year. This car, worth $3 to $4 million, was released in a circulation of only 7 copies. The unusual light of the headlights here is provided by diamonds and other precious stones inlaid in them. Up to 100 km per hour, this car accelerates in just 2 and 8 seconds. Its maximum speed is 395 km per hour. This is one of the fastest cars in the world and definitely the fastest in the Diesel garage. Diesel also owns Japanese cars. Toyota Supra 1994 cost him $30,000, Mazda DX-7 $16,000, and Subaru Impreza 2009 he bought for $36,000. Moreover, Vin received a very special gift for his 52nd birthday from colleagues from The Fast and the Furious. It was a Dodge Charger Tantrum 1970. One of the most impressive muscle cars in history. Of course, the gift copy has been greatly improved. The engine was put into it from the yacht. Yes, you heard right, from the yacht. 9-liter twin-turbine 8-cylinder engine. Of course, I didn't buy this particular instance of wine for my own money, but the new Dodge added a lot to the total cost of the actor's car park. It's no secret that Vin Diesel attaches great importance to family relationships not only in films, but also in real life.
The most important thing in the world will always be the people in this room. Right here. Now, salute surname.
The Fast and the Furious star was born in July of 1967 year together with his twin brother. It is noteworthy that the brothers are completely different neither in appearance nor in characters. Mark and Paul have never seen their own father, and the nationality of the actor remains a mystery today. According to one version, Diesel is half Italian and half African American. According to other information, German, Irish, Mexican and Dominican blood mixed in his living. Mark and Paul's mother got married. A younger son and daughter appeared in the family. Stepfather Erwin taught acting at the university and directed the theater, which influenced the emergence of interest in the future artist in the art of acting. Those who are closely acquainted with Pig Diesel know that in life this guy is a kind and caring father. With his wife Paloma, he has 3 children. Despite the fact that the actor is 16 years older than his chosen one, this does not prevent them from achieving harmony and mutual understanding at all. Thanks to her very unusual appearance, Paloma has been spending a lot of time in the modeling business since childhood. It is not surprising that the artist was carried away by the beauty of his chosen one. Vin Diesel bought a luxury house for the family, in which his wife maintains warmth and comfort. By the way, we have to manage only on our own, since the actor's family refused the services of housekeepers.